All right, we are on page 5 of the final exam review, and number 28 is solving an equation using square roots. So all we're going to do is legit take square roots from both sides. This gives me x on the left-hand side, which is equal to the square root of negative 49. But remember, the square root of negative 49 can be really the square root of 49 and the square root of negative 1. Well, the square root of 49 is positive and negative 7, and the square root of negative 1 is I. So we get positive 7 and 7i and negative 7i as both of our answers. So that's letter choice E. On number 29, we are solving this using the intersection feature on the calculator. So essentially all we're going to do is graph this. I'm going to graph it on Desmos and then paste it in here and we'll talk about it. Okay, so here we go. We have got our two equations. The purple one is the squared function. It makes the parabola. Notice I did have to put in, or I did choose to put in the y equals portion here. So I put in y equals and y equals. Those are only necessary if you're making it equal to a number and where it doesn't have a variable. Otherwise, I could have left off the y equals. So this is the left-hand side right here. Left-hand side, right-hand side, right-hand side. And then I'm just looking for where they cross. They are going to cross at decimal points. A lot of times it'll tell us to round, but remember, multiple choice answers on the final exam, so you'll just look for that. So it's going to be x is equal to 3.41 and x is equal to 5.59. So this guy would round that if I'm rounding to the nearest hundredth. On our next problem, we're going to use our sum and difference of cubes in order to do this problem. So we need to remember those formulas. This would be a good one to write on your cheat sheet if you haven't written anything on there yet, or if you haven't put this on there yet. So our formula looks like this. It's a cubed minus b cubed is equal to a minus b. So if you remember the soap analogy, so same sign as the a cubed minus b cubed, it's a minus b. Then we do an opposite sign, so we go a squared plus a times b, and then always positive plus b squared. So essentially what I need to be able to figure out is what are a and b. So I need to find the cube root of 125, which is 5, the cube root of a cubed, which is a, so that's my first term. So this guy right here is 5a, and then I also need the cube root of 8, which is 2, so that means this is 2. So my a is 5a and my b is 2. So I'm going to get 5a minus 2 is equal to 5a squared plus 5a times 2 plus 2 squared. Well, none of the answer choices over here look like that. I can automatically eliminate this guy because it has a plus in the beginning, and this guy because I know I got more than that. And hey, you know what? I maybe not even have to simplify. It looks like D is going to be the right choice because it's at least got a trinomial. So if I did simplify, it would be 5a minus 2, 25a squared, plus 10a plus 4, which matches. On number 31, it's asking me to use the graph to find the zeros. So again, we're going to go ahead and graph that on Desmos and then see how many times or where it crosses the x-axis. It should be crossing the x-axis 3 times because it is a cubic function. So this little 3 tells me that I should look for 3 answers. So I can probably eliminate these, although it might have a double root. So let's look at the graph of this guy. All right, so we can look at the graph here. We could look at it in its entirety if you really wanted to. So we could see that it goes like this or whatnot. That's not really necessary here. All I need is where does it cross the x-axis. It crosses at x equals negative 1. So it can't be that guy, and it can't be that guy. It crosses at 0, so it looks like it's D, and it crosses at 8. So it can't be that guy. All right, one of our favorites here is synthetic division. The big thing to remember with synthetic division is to take the opposite sign of the negative 2 there that we're dividing by. So we're going to make that a positive 2 and make our box. Make sure we go 3, 2, 1, 0, so we're not missing any terms. So we have a 2, and then a -4, a 7, and a -17. Now, just like when we do a matrix, we want to leave some space in between there. That'll help us overall. So when we do this, we're going to multiply these two together. So 2 times 2 is going to give me 4, and then we are going to add these two together. -4 plus 4 is 0. Then we're going to do it again. Multiply 2 times 0, which is 0. Then we're going to add 7 plus 0, which is 7. Then we'll do it one more time. We're going to multiply 2 times 7, which is 14. Then we're going to add -17 plus 14, which is a -3. This right here is my remainder. And then I'm going to go backwards. So this is 7 with nothing. This is 0x, and this is 2x squared. So when I divide this, I get 2x squared plus 7. And then my remainder is minus 3 over whatever I divided by, x minus 2.